All right, let's talk some Trevor Lawrence. It's very interesting. I really enjoyed these breakdowns. It's weird with Lawrence because he had those 3 straight weeks against Cincinnati, Tennessee, and Miami where he had a passer rating over 90 in each of those weeks, and we're thinking, all right, here's that Trevor Lawrence stuff. We've been waiting for it. Got off to a slow start, but now he's really finding his groove. The past 3 weeks, again, at least statistically, looking at the box score stats, haven't been as good. Passer rating of 68, of 69, and then of 59 last week against the Colts. This was the second lowest passer rating he's had so far in his young career. Is it an issue of him or is it an issue of the team? It's an issue of the team. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. He's in a bad spot. It's really hard to evaluate him. I've actually liked what I've seen from Lawrence this season, but there have been some negatives. However, this game, I can't blame much on him. It's a situation game. Felt similar to some of the bad games that Fields has had and some of the bad games that Wilson has had. Unfortunately, these, 3 most notable rookie quarterbacks coming out of the draft, although obviously Trey Lance and Mac Jones are there as well. But these were the 3 that were the most talked about, and they've been in awful situations. So let's talk about why I don't put too much blame on Trevor Lawrence. All right, so let's start things off with this one. This is a good example of kind of just a weird play almost. This is the play that I would say is a good one by Lawrence, even though it's going to end up in an incompletion. So for the Colts, they're showing a cover 0 right here, there's no safety deep, but there is a little bit of a twist where a linebacker is going to drop back into coverage. This is something you'll do. This isn't anything crazy, but it is something that people don't tend to do in college as much, so it can give certain rookie quarterbacks, a lot of issues. I highlighted a route on the screen. This is really why you drop a player back into coverage. Lawrence is probably going to want to throw over the middle since that could be cleared, but since you have a linebacker back into coverage, it might make things more difficult. However, a third aspect here is that since the tight end who you want to throw to is actually cutting away from the middle of the field, this means that Lawrence can still make this throw if he wants to. I mean, watch, right when this play starts. So you see Dan Arnold, that's the tight end who I've circled in yellow. He's the guy who we're talking about. There is an opening right here. Now, Lawrence is going to face immediate pressure, which, on the cover 0, that's what oftentimes will happen, is that there will be immediate pressure, and it's difficult to stop because, again, they're showing as though 6 guys will rush the passer, and even if only 5 actually do, it's not always easy to shift over, so it happens. Lawrence, I think, is doing a good job of getting rid of this ball quickly and getting rid of this ball to the right player because, again, another aspect of this play is the guy who's covering Dan Arnold on this play is the safety who is furthest deep because you have to sell it a little bit, right? So since he's the one picking up Arnold, there is no safety deep, and there also isn't going to be immediate coverage on Arnold. Quite frankly, Dan Arnold has to read this play better and has to know the coverage and has to know he's going to have to turn his head around pretty close to when he gets to the first down marker. Instead, when he gets there, he kind of is very slow and, turning his head around, almost like he wasn't expecting the ball to be coming. You could maybe argue it was like a little bit of a high throw, but not by much. It was just that Arnold couldn't react to it. To me, I do consider that a good play by Lawrence that didn't work out because of his teammates. Something like this is another example of a similar idea where what's going to happen is that this is going to be, once again, it's man coverage. This is a cover 1 man blitz. So there's still blitzing here, and you have a single safety deep, but this means that the sidelines can be open, and this is where we've seen a lot of quarterbacks over the years have success. The issue is you need receivers who can win one-on-one matchups. And look, you're going to see that Jamal Agnew on this play actually does get a little bit open. It's a great throw from Lawrence, and Agnew just couldn't hang on right there. So that's tough, right? Because that wasn't wide open, but it was open enough. Lawrence puts a perfect throw on it, and it just isn't complete. And listen, I like what I've seen from Jamal Agnew. I think he's a solid player. He shouldn't be your team's number 1 receiver, which it seems like at times they've tried to make him. And that's kind of been an issue where it's not like the Jaguars neglected the wide receiver position. They have Laviska Shenault. They have DJ Chark. They, added Marvin Jones. Those are all players they expected to do well and just haven't really, again, you've had some playing time issues with Chark, but they just haven't been able to kind of be the guys we were hoping they would be. Now, let's go over to this one, because it's not like it's all been just Trevor Lawrence is playing awesome, but his receiving core is letting him down. No, of course not. There have been some mistakes by Lawrence, of course. This is an example of one. So the way this works is there's 2 guys to note on this play, Marvin Jones Jr. and also Dan Arnold. So Jones is going to be running a deeper route that is usually designed to push the corner and safety further deep. Then Dan Arnold kind of cuts underneath. He's the tight end on this play, obviously. He's the one who you typically expect to get open. Lawrence is going to take the snap and run a play action, and as he rolls to the bottom of the screen, you notice that right here when I paused it, you can kind of see why you might want to make this throw to Marvin Jones, right? If you can kind of put it in a perfect spot and get it there quick enough, there is potential for this one to work. However, you have to keep in mind what Lawrence is doing here. He's scrambling outside the pocket and there's contact, so he's going to have to run at a full sprint. He's not going to be able to get as much on it, and it's a tight window already. So this is just definitely one of those don't make this throw Trevor Lawrence type plays. It's good coverage, throw it away. However, Lawrence is still going to try to make this throw anyways, and it nearly gets intercepted. This is, it's something he does have to clean out of his game a little bit. It's something that I saw in college a lot, was he tried to make every throw, and in college he could make just about every throw, but there was still some, I'm not sure if in the NFL it's going to work out as well, and we've seen that a bit in the NFL. It hasn't been a big issue for the most part, but it has been an issue, and it's something he needs to work on. Again, he's a rookie player. He does look like a rookie. There's still some good, but there are some negatives as well. And we also saw just some stuff like this, which was just kind of odd. It just sort of, we've seen some weirdness going on with the Jaguars. So here, it's Laviska Shenault running, it's a one-on-one matchup. It's cover 3 zone, but it's a one-on-one matchup on the sideline. So this is similar to that Jamal Agnew play I showed you, where it's a one-on-one matchup. You got to try and win these one-on-one matchups. And so look, Shenault takes a while to get his route really going, and once he does, Lawrence throws it way behind him. That's not a missed throw, that's a miscommunication. I don't know what exactly happened there and who ran the wrong route or who thought the wrong route was happening. But, you got to get on the same page a little bit better. So there's been some stuff like that as well, which is, of course, stuff you expect the Jaguars to get better at as they continue to play with each other for longer and longer. But I think this play is, this is really the best example I can give for what happened. And I should be very clear. I keep saying the Jaguars, they had trouble getting open, which is already concerning. But when you're having this much trouble getting open against a bad secondary, the Colts have not covered well this season, that's when things get really concerning. So again, it's a cover 1 man blitz, and this isn't really what the Colts do. They kind of just game planned around the Jaguars because they knew that they could cover even with their kind of not great secondary, and this isn't typically what they even do. But watch, right when this play starts, just look at how nothing is really open. I've circled all 5 eligible receivers. The one I've circled in yellow is the one that's kind of open. Basically everything else, that's going to be a tough throw to make. Even the yellow circle one, it's a tough throw. And again, it's Jamal Agnew, so it's not like you have some dominant receiver who can go up and get it. Lawrence tries to make this throw anyways, and it's actually a pretty solid throw, but again, it's Jamal Agnew, which it's not an insult. Jamal Agnew shouldn't be in this situation where he's the only guy getting any separation. He should be the guy who can be maybe a third option and can kind of just contribute and then play great special teams. That's what you want out of Jamal Agnew. So it's tough. It's a tough situation for the Jaguars. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know. What are your thoughts on Lawrence? Am I being too easy on him? I always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.